there's not even just games. There's trivia, there's prizes, there's a ball pit. A ball pit? What? Yep, that's happening here at EA Play, so you can go in.
Oh wow, that's amazing. You know what else had a ball pit? EA's Preshow kicks off with Madden on mobile phones and FIFA. Then they talk about EA's live streaming service for E3, where a collection of streamers will broadcast 100 games for 100 hours, just in case you can't get enough. Sims 4 Seasons is up next.
So what got you into The Sims? What is it about The Sims that keeps you coming back for each and every expansion?
That's a good question. Honestly though, only EA can release the same expansion 3 games in a row. EA then tries to directly recruit some employees.
And what got you into this industry? I mean, again, tons of industries out there, but what is it about games that brought you into that world?
I'm passionate about gaming. I love to game, and for me to be able to merge recruiting with gaming is a dream come true for me. So I encourage that to anybody. If you love gaming, get out there, go to EA Careers, check it out, see what we have for you to check to potentially just be involved with. Like I said, we have everything from recruiting, HR, finance, artists, designers, programmers. We love every type of skill set.
At least they were transparent about it. They also reminisce over the history of the venue for some reason.
So the Palladium opened in 1940. The opening night, Frank Sinatra was an opener on the bill. And since
Not
then,
even the closer?
Not
Old
even
Blue
the
Eyes was the opener?
opening.
The actual show starts with a really nice teaser for Anthem. Then the first game they go into is Battlefield 5. I like the new changes to the movable defensive units, but it mostly looks like more of the same. The single player sounds like it's going to be set up the same way as Battlefield 1 single player, which I actually liked. It was a collection of several short stories that offered a variety of locales and settings without becoming overwhelming. So I'm glad that they're doing it again. It's still nothing special as far as first-person shooters go, but if you like Battlefield, then you should be good to go.
No loot boxes, no premium pass. Every day.
Well, that was quite a cheer for EA basically admitting defeat. Although I can't say I'd be surprised if they're still in the game under a different name.
After launch, you'll get something I know a lot of you have been asking for.
It's Royale. It's Royale reimagined for Battlefield.
Oh great, we don't already have enough of these. And people still cheer for it like it's the second coming. Beautiful. FIFA 19 is brought up for a bit before going into FIFA 18, which already came out. I guess they're making a big deal of this new addition that they're throwing into the game now. I don't know, these sports games are major sellers with a big fan base, I get that, but I've never been able to really get into them. I likely won't even bother if they gave it away for free, which they did on the show floor. Now, Andrew Wilson, EA CEO, came on stage to talk about EA's cloud streaming service. Vince Zampella of Respawn Entertainment mentions their upcoming game, which is a Star Wars game. But when I say mentions, that is literally all he did.
So does that mean I get to hold a lightsaber?
Yes.
It was kind of an awkward interview for how vague it was, but I want to have high hopes, if only to play another Respawn game. Of course, now that EA owns Respawn, I really have no idea what to expect. Battlefront 2 comes in and they start shouting damage control right away. It came off more as an advertisement for the game, as if to say, "We're sorry, give us another chance." But more than anything, it's disheartening that we're talking about another game that already came out. I'm pretty sure E3 is supposed to be for upcoming releases. Unravel 2 was kind of a surprise. I wasn't aware that the first game sold particularly well, but I guess it did. Even enough for a presentation at E3. The big change is co-op, which is a nice addition, but it still seems like a simplistic puzzle platformer that doesn't do anything particularly interesting. At least the presenter wasn't anywhere near as nervous as he was back in 2015. EA brags about their EA Originals program and how A Way Out was successful for them. And then they introduce Sea of Solitude as their next EA Originals game.
Thank you, Patrick. A little bit the same right now. I'm pretty excited, maybe a little too excited.
Please do not run a mile before arriving on stage. Unfortunately, a huge chunk of the presentation is spent on selling the setting without much mention of gameplay. It sure looks nice, but I have no idea how it's meant to be played or what makes it unique as a game. NBA Live 19 and Madden 19 are announced, to no one's surprise, with immediate back-to-back trailers. Then there's Command & Conquer Rivals for smartphones. It actually doesn't look that bad, but nothing really special either. Andrew Wilson once again praises his own company for being so great. And finally, we get some footage of BioWare's Anthem. As opposed to a traditional presentation, this one's done more so in the style of an interview. An interview that is most likely rehearsed, but I can't say that I expect much from these things.
I turn in my rewards, I talk to some characters, I experience the choices of my action.
Oh gee, choices I get to make, huh? It's not like I did a whole video on that. It's not like I trust BioWare of all companies with this. I can't wait to either accept a mission or accept a mission with angst. It takes a while to get to the gameplay, and there's not much new to see anyway. The big reveal is that when you play the game, you choose from one of 4 different classes, each of which changes the playstyle in different ways. Loot boxes have once again been denied, and there's an emphasis on somehow making the storytelling work in a co-op action game, which didn't work for me in Destiny, or The Division, or Far Cry 5, and I don't see it working here either. Once the gameplay finally starts up, it looks okay. One team member freezes a group of enemies while another bombards them with rockets, and yet another still flies off to attack some turrets. They're emphasizing diversifying the team, which is a good way to keep the cooperative aspect interesting. That said, it also looks pretty slow and the enemies seem awfully non-threatening, both of which were major issues I had with Destiny as well. Still, I see the potential here, but I wouldn't get my hopes up. In the post-show, some people play FIFA for a while, and I had to tune out at that point. EA's press conference revealed absolutely nothing noteworthy, aside from maybe Anthem, but even the segment on Anthem is stretched out over a lot of drivel. If you haven't seen the whole press conference for yourself, I wouldn't bother. You're not missing out on anything.